What is up, Leo? How are you guys doing? It is bonus time. Time for your August 2025 bonus reading. So when I do bonus readings, what it is that I am looking for is details, situations, or scenarios that, for whatever reason, did not make it into the first round of monthly readings. So if any of you need a personal reading, you can always just go straight to my website, tarotwithrich.com. But you can check the description of the video. There's a link right down there. All right, let's jump into this. I want to start the bonus readings off with the current long-term partner. Current long-term relationship. So if you're not in a long-term relationship, this is not for you. If you are in a long-term relationship, but the two of you are not experiencing any problems, this is not for you. All right, let's see. Let's just see how the energy's looking, I guess. Let's see how it's looking. Knight of Pentacles reverse. Some of you dealing with the earth sign, possibly. Oh, sun card. Oh, shit. Damn, dog. Straight out the gate. Tower card. Well, I'll say this much because the Tower card wasn't the overall energy and it wasn't even in the first line. It's kind of in the middle of the spread here. So I will say that this does kind of look like it's hanging on by a thread. Kind of hanging on by a thread, man. Somebody farts too hard. It's going to fucking blow the house down, you know. Some of you may have already been on and off with this person with the World card here and the Magician reversed. Some of you may have already gone on and off a time or two, but it does feel like a cycle is looping around and looping around and looping around, and it's coming. Some of you may know that too. I think some of you may be anticipating a worst case scenario. Oh, shit. Okay. Some of you dealing with an Aries. I got Virgo and Capricorn devil card. Looks like a pretty toxic situation here, man. Maybe for some of you, there could be some addiction issues involved. I know that's not all of you, but that's usually the most common way that this energy likes to manifest and express itself. So, okay. All right, well, let's see the current person's feelings, energies, and intentions. What kind of person are they in general? What's their energy look like? Current long-term partner Leo's dealing with. Eight of Pentacles. Sun card reversed again. Well, they ain't happy. I just kind of feel like, honestly, this person is just generally unhappy. And the cause of it isn't you. But, you know, when somebody's generally unhappy, everything makes them unhappy, you know. When somebody is generally unhappy at their core, they blame everything and everyone around them for their unhappiness. So it's hard to fucking tell, you know. But I just think that this person probably wasn't a happy person before the two of you even met, right? I don't know. Honestly, too, it kind of feels like this person's very immature and very flaky and indecisive. Look at this. Hang on. So, right up here, we have Page of Wands upright, Page of Cups reversed, Directly under it, Queen of Wands upright, King of Wands reversed. And then Two of Swords, that's flaky, wishy-washy. Could some of you maybe dealing with somebody that seems to be a little bit bipolar, maybe? Flippy-floppy, up and down, back and forth, on and off, in and out. Acting one way one day, another way, mood swinging, like, you know, this person seems like they're a bit of a mess. They don't, this person is just not very stable. Let's just put it like that. They just do not look like a very stable individual. Okay? They do not. Could be a Pisces for some of you. I think they really try to hold the majority of their feelings deep down. Could be an Aquarius for some of you, but I think they are trying to keep a positive outlook for the future. But they keep flipping, flopping, back and forth. They got a lot of unhealed trauma, too. Okay, well, shit. Horrible communicator. They communicate like shit. All right, that's about all. I'm going in circles. Every card I fucking pull out, it just spins the same message around in a circle. Okay, well, I guess let's get the advice. I dread this part. Advice on the current long-term relationship. That's my least favorite part of my job. I'm not gonna lie. My least favorite part. Because it's heavy and you got to be very careful and very tedious with this advice. Well, you got to be careful and tedious with any advice, really. But, you know, if I say one thing wrong, or if you take one thing I say the wrong way, it could lead you down the wrong path. So, well, see, this is what I'm afraid of. What I'm afraid of is, like I said, this is a long-term situation. If you're dealing with somebody you've just been with for a very short period of time, this is not for you. This is a long-term situation. So the energy that has built up between the two of you by now is so fucking thick that it's going to be so incredibly difficult to get both of you on the same page, working through it together. Here's all I'll say. I'm not going to tell you what to do, what not to do. I'm not going to tell you to walk away from this or don't, unless you're dealing with a dangerous person. Okay, that's about the only exception. I don't really have, because I feel like there's unfinished karma here, and I don't really have the authority to tell you to walk away from uncleared karma, with very few exceptions. And the few exceptions would be if you are dealing with a dangerous individual. And some of you maybe, there may be a couple of you, but honestly, most of you really aren't. Maybe a couple of you. Hey, there may be a little handful of you. You know, if you genuinely, honestly feel like your safety or your life is in jeopardy, then fucking boot, scoot, and boogie. But other than that, here's what I'll say. If the two of you can get on the same page at the same time, working towards the same goal, sweet. If not, and it crashes and burns, walk away. Let the tower burn to the ground and clean up the mess. Make that your number one priority, especially those of you who have already been on and off with this person. All right? But let the tower burn and then clean up the mess, meaning go through the healing process. Go through the healing process. And then once it's burned to the ground, you've cleaned up all the rubble, and the lot that it once stood on is nice and clean and pristine, then ask yourself what you want to do. Do I want to rebuild that old tower with the same person, or would I rather attract a new person and build a bigger, better tower with a more solid foundation and a fucking lightning rod. Okay, I still don't have my sage in here, do I? Dadgummit. All right. Whatevs, man. Whatevs. All right. Shifting gears now. Ugh. I dread that, man. I'm not gonna. I dread it, dude. I dread the current long-term relationship, but I gotta fucking do it, you know? It's part of the job. It's part of the job. So, all right, let's see what's going on with the singles and the person that you're interested in. What can we tell? This is Leo, right? Are we on Leo or Virgo? This is Leo. All right, what can we tell Leo about? If I said Virgo, I don't know. I got Virgo in my head for some reason. If I said that, I didn't mean it. What can we tell Leo, the single Leos, about the person that they're interested in? Do 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 do. Uh-oh. We got that karmic wheel there. So there is a soul contract. Absolutely. There's a soul contract. I think there's uncleared karma from a previous lifetime. But with the Ace of Wands in the reverse, this doesn't really seem to be going anywhere. Communication looks like it could use some serious improvement. You're not giving up on this. You're not giving up on this. But I do think that it is starting to weigh on you. Starting to weigh on you. You're trying to be patient, trying to hang in there. Starting to weigh on you, though. Driving you a little bit nuts. Okay. You don't know whether or not you're seeing red flags or if you're just tripping. You don't know if your intuition is telling you to stay away from this person or if you're just making shit up in your head. Big battle between ego and intuition. Okay. Some of you dealing with a Sagittarius. I also have Aquarius, Cancer. Seven of Cups. Well, we ain't going to go there yet. I'm going to set that aside and see if it comes back out. All right, let's see how they feel about you and what their intentions are. Current person Leo is interested in. Boom, 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 boom. So what is it with the Sun card reversed? That's the third time, third different deck. This person's guarded. Very, very guarded. I do not have one single cup on the table, unless you want to count the cups in the hands of the Temperance here, and this is in the reverse. And that's Major Arcana. I don't have a single cup in the Minor Arcana at all. So I can say this, though. I don't think this person's playing games. I don't think they are. I think they are just extremely fucking guarded. You know? Now, just because somebody's not playing games, that doesn't mean that they're not moving funny. You know, that doesn't mean that their actions are going to reflect good intentions necessarily, you know? When I say what are their intentions, I mean what is the energy and the intention behind the things that they do. Are they trying to lead you on? Are they trying to string you along? Are they trying to just keep you hooked? You know, play cat and mouse just to blow their head up? No, I don't think so. I just think they're way too guarded and probably a little bit intimidated, honestly. Probably. They're afraid of wasting their time. Yeah, that's about all I can. This is kind of a dry, boring spread here, to be honest with you. Devil card. Mm-hmm. They could have a little addiction problem too. But it looks to me here like they're a little bit nervous to connect with somebody, you know, beyond a sex-based connection. A little bit nervous. And indecisive. So, all right. Doesn't look bad, though. Doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look great. Any advice? I need to get my sage, man. These energies are heavy. What is the best advice for my Leo family? Oh, damn. This is a pretty direct message. Wow. Let me see if there's anything I can do with this. Tower card. Well, this is going to be a hard one. But I'll tell you what, this is telling me that the tension, the nervousness, and the restlessness is starting to build. And if you don't move on from this, eventually something ugly is going to pop off between the two of you. You know, especially those of you who feel like you're being led on. And it doesn't matter, even if you don't feel like you're being led on, you know. Sometimes, I don't know how common this situation is, but sometimes we can get ourselves in a situation where we build our own expectations, you know, and they choose somebody else. And we've been imagining in our mind, they want me so bad, they're just waiting for the right time, they're scared to approach me. You know, whoop, whoop. Oh, I know they want, today's going to be the day that they approach me. I know they want me. They're just scared. And then the next thing you know, they choose somebody else. Oh, that can make you almost blow your fucking top, you know? I can't say I've never been there. I've been there when I was in my early 20s. I've been there a time or two. But regardless of how it happens, you know, because I feel like some of you are being strung along. Maybe not intentionally. I don't think this person's intentionally stringing you along. You know, but again, that's so slippery because the way I see it, if you're guarded, if you're that fucking guarded, why are you fucking with somebody? Okay, I get it. You don't want an emotional connection with somebody. All you want is some booty. We'll be open about that. All right. Do any of you by chance happen to be dealing with somebody that's already told you they don't want a relationship? Because that comes across my desk at least twice a month. I do read that on the occasion. It's not as uncommon as you would think. Been dealing with this person for the last 6 months. He told me he doesn't want a relationship. Will we be together? No. When somebody tells you, especially if you're dealing with a man, but regardless, anybody, it doesn't matter, man or woman, if somebody tells you they don't want a relationship, listen to them. Listen to them. If they don't want a relationship and they tell you that, bold face, out and out, listen to them. Okay? And again, like I said, especially a man. I get it. Women are a little bit more complicated, you know. Sometimes it's not uncommon at all for a woman to say one thing but mean something else and be thinking something else at the same time and all that bullshit. Men don't roll like that. I'm not going to tell you what he wants. If a man says, I don't want no relationship, there's no in between. There's nothing in between the lines. He ain't hinting nothing. He's not he says he don't want no relationship. He don't want no fucking relationship. I don't know who needs to hear that, even if it's just one of you. But I have to put that out there. Okay, so I don't know what I can do with that advice, man. I really don't know. Unless you want to have the what are we conversation. And that's just my go-to when all else fails. That's my go-to. That's my default go-to. When all else fails, that's about all you can do is initiate the what are we conversation. So, damn it, man. Where's my fucking sage, bro? Oh, that shit's heavy. Leo, what y'all got going on this Leo season? This is your season, man. What is going on? There must be something else going on in the fucking sky. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not that good at understanding the transits and the squares and the retrogrades and the this shit and the that. I don't know. I'm not good at all that. I understand the mechanics of energy, and that's about it. So, I would imagine, though, this must be a little rough on the Leos, though. Hey, I'm an Aquarius, and it's not uncommon at all for Aquarius season to suck. It happens, so... Anywho, okay. Let's move on. Let's see if there's anything else we can tell you about the person you dealt with in the past. Past person! Person from the past. Anything else we can tell Leo? Any details I left out? Anything else important Leo needs to hear? Oh, it looks like you're closing out this karmic tie. Oh, that's cool. Cool, good. Finally something fucking positive. Sweet. Okay. Good. Now, the only thing it's not telling me is how it's happening. It's not telling me that. I don't have any cards here, in this spread at least, that indicate any kind of action. That doesn't mean there won't be. I don't see anything indicating communication. That doesn't mean there won't be. All it's telling me is, boom. Boom. Returning back to balance. Cutting this karmic tie, releasing this. Returning back to balance. Boom. Releasing this vibrational energy. It's like 1,000 pounds lifting off your chest. Boom. Yeah, buddy. All right. Some of you dealing with a fellow Leo, possibly. I feel like that's your energy, though. I also have Taurus, Sagittarius, Aquarius, Cancer. Maybe it will be a conversation for some of you somehow, some way. But let me just dig in a little bit deeper and see what's going on here. What's this person's feelings, energies, and intentions? Past person Leo dealt with. Whoops. King of Pentacles reversed. They haven't improved their life. Ooh, Tower card. Magician reversed. They ain't changed nothing. They ain't changed nothing. Yeah, I think they do want to talk to you. They do want to talk to you. They do still feel a connection with you. It's hard to say what they want, though. And with this Five of Swords energy here, it doesn't look like they have... It doesn't look like they have your best interests at heart. If anything, they would probably love nothing more than to hear that you've been doing fucking horrible. You know? It's not uncommon at all for an ex to hit you up just to see if you're at a vulnerable place. Or maybe they saw something you posted and took it the wrong way. You know how some people out there, they think they be knowing everything is going on in your life just because of shit you post. You know, you'll see a some kind of meme or something and you agree with it and you're like, hey, I agree with that. I'm sharing that shit. And everybody thinks, what's going on with you? Ooh, you got something going on in your life. Ooh. And they think they know everything about you. God, those people are so fucking annoying. Maybe you posted something and they think, ooh, something bad must be happening to you. Ooh, this is my chance. Ooh, you know? Something, I don't know. Or maybe they'll just hit you up, you know, wondering, maybe I'll be lucky. Maybe I'll be lucky and you'll be at a really, really low place in life. You know, that's what this feels like to me. Something along those lines, you know. Okay. Well, yeah, and not much to talk about there. Not really. Not really. All right, let's, we kind of got the outcome. I think a conversation's happening for a lot of you. I think you're going to hear from this person. But this is a general reading, so whether you bump into them out in public somewhere, they show up in your inbox, or whatever the case may be. And see, here's the thing. I don't think a lot of you are planning to release this and let this go. Maybe some of you are. But I think a lot of you are taken aback by what it is that you're observing. I recently came up with a good analogy to explain. You know how sometimes I'll talk about how if you do it at the right time, revisiting something or someone from the past can be beneficial to your healing. Okay, well, I came up with a great analogy to explain that. Have you ever experienced what it's like to watch a movie for the first time since you were a little kid? Especially if it's a movie that you loved. Oh my God, you loved it. Maybe when you were 8 years old. You know, I can remember, I'm an 80s baby. I was born in the 80s. My childhood was in the 90s. So in the 90s, there was all kinds of cool-ass Disney movies and Nickelodeon movies and shit, you know. And then somewhere going into the late 90s, I was growing up, becoming a preteen, then a teenager, and I just kind of quit watching it. And there were some movies that I just forgot about. And then, here recently, over the last 5 years, while I'm in my 30s, I'll think back and be like, oh yeah, man, there was that one fucking movie that I used to watch on repeat. You know, when you put the fucking, the goddamn, what do you call it? The fucking, the videotape in the VCR and you hit record. And then when the commercials come on, you got to stop it real quick. And then you wait and then you got to press record again at the right time. So you cut the commercials out, you know? And I'll just sit and watch it until the tape was all fucked up. I'd watch some movies so many fucking times, the tape got all fucked up and it wouldn't even play anymore. And you go back and watch it again 20, 25 years later. And it's like, oh my God. I didn't fucking understand that movie at all back then. Why did I like it so much? I didn't even fucking understand it. I thought I did. I thought I had a real good grip of what was going on in that movie. But now, watching it in my 30s, I clearly had no fucking clue what that movie was about. Right? You see where I'm going with this? Because now you see things from a more elevated perspective. You just see things for what they really are, not what you thought they were back then. Do you see the point I'm making here? It's not uncommon to revisit a person from the past, especially if you've done a shitload of healing and evolution, and you'll have that same effect. Oh my God, that's who the fuck you are. Oh, wow. Now I see you for who you really are. I see our whole relationship for what it really was. I wasn't even planning on seeing it like this, you know? Boom, you let go of it by default. Now it makes sense. Now all the puzzle pieces fall into place and it all makes sense. And you just let go by default. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking that's the only advice I think I can really give that situation is don't fight the process. If you feel yourself being called to just kind of let something go, just let it go. Every now and then, people find themselves in a situation like that, and that little ego brain is a son of a bitch. If it just so happens to figure out how to yell a little bit louder than your intuition, and you tune into it and tune your intuition out, and you start thinking about what if, then that could lead you into a past cycle all over again. Don't fight the process. Let it play out the way it's going to play out. I think this is happening for your highest good, because a lot of y'all got big things coming in 2026, but you have to vibrationally align with it first, okay? And shedding old energies is key to attracting newer, better things, okay? All right, y'all, I feel like those were the messages that my Leo family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, information for personal readings is all down here in the description of the video, all right? I'm out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity. Stay blessed.